much for tuning back in to LA Show. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about players in the Nipsey Hussle assassination. And of course, we got our buddy Cisco back on the line with us. Thank you so much for tuning back in with us, Cisco.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we got a couple more players to add on to the list. We're going to start with the police officers, a little more in depth information on them, a little knowledge on them, because they're the ones who, handled the crime scene, handled the body of Nipsey Hussle as well before paramedics got there. And I find that very important with some of the information that some of the officers were able to receive and some of the information that they weren't able to receive.
Correct.
So that all ties into the main reason of why I was inspired to do the court video, um, which I see, got people talking, got people's heads in the right direction. We need to think about things logically, regardless of if it's going to be, whatever you think it may be. We need to think about things logically and just come together and talk about things, which the court case to me, it mattered a lot. It matters a lot. So we will see. But to start off the video, I got the arresting officer for Eric Holder, aka Shitty Cuz, the officer that arrested him at Bellflower. He actually made a testimony, and that's about it on him. His name is Brian Sauls, and he works with the Bellflower department. So then we have Armando Mendoza, who is a South Bureau officer. He's a 17-year vet, and he is a person who actually came into the courtroom during the grand jury testimony, and he had a recording device on him. Is that right?
Yes, and I
Um,
think I think the recording device was just another phone, but I found it strange that you give one phone, you obviously had to know that you had to give the other one.
right, and you're a 17-year vet. But okay. So he was at home, he got the call, he responded there. He's the one who said that he got the evidence of the chili cheese fries, and he also retrieved only 40 caliber bullets on the scene.
Correct.
You guys need to keep that in mind. So then we have Michael Ramirez. Michael Ramirez is a paralegal for the DA's office. He talked about a database controlled by the Department of Justice that helps them catalog information on criminals. He also explained that Eric Holder's rap sheet was redacted. It didn't show any relevance to the case. Some parts didn't show relevance. How do you feel about that, Cisco?
I find it strange that if a person's up for murder, that usually the state or the feds, they lay you wide open. They want to know everything. So in a case of this magnitude, why would they have something redacted in his rap sheet?
That is strange.
And
So then we got.
that's probably goes along with that motion that
Mhm.
the public defender, because she wants the stuff
Lowen.
unredacted, under Luwen Young, yeah, she wants it unredacted.
She wants the unredacted version of Nipsey's.
Yeah, Nipsey's, his
So
associates,
who's going to
everybody.
get the unredacted version of Eric Holder?
Well, she asked for that too.
Oh, okay. So she wants both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we got Everardo Amaral, and he is a South Bureau homicide detective of 21 years. He is one of the two investigators that are primarily handling the homicide part of Nipsey's case. So they are going in and doing their rounds and investigations and interrogations and interviews, and these are your guys. He also said that he saw two guns in the video that they have retrieved.
Correct.
That's
And
very
we might
interesting.
shouldn't we share that that's something we never went on a video and said, but early on that's something we discovered as well.
Correct. We have been saying two guns, and if you would like to shout out that YouTuber um, that put us onto that, I think that would be a wonderful shout out.
Said it
You
again?
know, did you want to shout out that YouTuber that put us onto that? The two guns.
That's up to it's your channel.
I like
Yeah,
him.
yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so it was a million hits. And I'm glad you're doing this because I tried to do this on someone else's channel when I called in and they shut me down. The
Mm,
channel is a million hits. I've been a follower of a million hits for since I ever discovered him, for years. And he's basically a crime scene journalist in South
hmm.
Central LA. And since I
Very
grew up,
smart.
part of my life there, it's that channel's been important to me. And he was on the scene. You can go to Million Hits channel and you can see his Nipsey Hussle videos when he was at the crime scene, and he reported that it was two guns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I mean, nobody else broke that, but the person that actually had the kahunas to go to the crime scene, even at a hard time, and be able to do his job and give us the information that was needed. And I respect that 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're in LA and you're working on the Hussle case, and you haven't been down there like a million hits was right on there, and we've seen these other people that have just popped up on the scene and faded away. It's
Mm-hmm.
ironic that anyway, you can keep on going.
Okay. So then we have got Cedric Washington. He is also a South Bureau homicide detective of 24 years, and he is one of the two investigators on Nipsey's case. He is the one that said out of his mouth that Herman Douglas was the most cooperative witness
Right.
that they have. So that
Which
was nice.
which Austin also isn't that the same officer that led them to go into his criminal history?
Correct. They did break open Cowboys' criminal history for whatever reason. And like we've been telling you guys, you need to look at the witnesses, if any, that are actually testifying to seeing Eric Holder's shooting. That's what you guys need to be worried about. Don't worry about all the
Right.
people on the scene. Don't worry about all the flashes and the little glitters and stuff that you see on the internet. Worry about the actual case itself and where we're actually headed with this case, because now we have the man in custody. So that's what we need to look at. That's why I thought my court video was relevant.
Right.
But we're going to keep it moving. So then we have John Jameson. He is a part of the South Bureau Homicide Division, and he is a detective of 23 years. He is the guy who said that 67 minutes of the video was off.
Right.
And he also says that he also did not answer to if the video was tampered with. He gave some type of runaround answer. You remember that in the transcripts? You called it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. But I don't have it pulled it up right now.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. These people should know by now that we're vibing. We're talking off the dome, you know. This is genuine. So
And that's what we
really,
got. That's what we got the LA family for. So you guys can go through them transcripts and give us exactly what LA just said.
yes, please. I mean, y'all, I'm a one person army. I only got Cisco clearly. So I need you guys' help, for real. So we got Thorsten Timmermans as well. He's a Southside Bureau homicide detective of 14 years, and he's the guy that used Google Maps to get videos. He also had said that he had the master burger video only. And he also claimed to, I don't know if he saw the 58th place homeowner video, but they had two cameras on their home over on
Right.
58th place. So I don't know if he actually saw them or if he recovered them, but he claimed that he only got the Master Burger video. I remember that specifically. So then we get off the police officers because those are all the police officers involved. And then we get into Lawrence Nguyen. He is a medical examiner, but he is not the medical examiner that performed the autopsy. If you guys
Right.
would have referred back to the previous videos of the actual transcripts and the actual breakdown that me and Cisco did, that took over a week, hours and hours and hours of reading. So we would really appreciate it if you did go back and check those out. Um, he is the I want to call him an assistant medical examiner to Timothy Dutra, who is the actual person that did the autopsy. But Lawrence Nguyen is not the person who did the autopsy. He is somebody that looked at notes and was called to testify. So this is going off of his notes. He said that there was 10 to 11 shots total. And if you could, Cisco, could you briefly fill them in on what he means by 10 to 11 shots? Was it 10 or was it 11?
Well, he believes that there's a shot that entered the body and exited the body and then entered the body and another part. And they consider that two different shots. So that's why they
Okay.
say 10 to 11.
Okay. So he also says that there were 6 bullets recovered from Nipsey's body, and he's not specifying the caliber.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I feel it's quite strange, because the caliber of the bullets is relevant, especially you've already established that there's two guns in the grand jury testimony. So why wouldn't you establish the caliber of the bullets, especially the bullets that seem to be more lethal than the others? So it's relevant to the autopsy, but it's not there.
Okay. Okay. So then we get into some people that we've been seeing, we've been heard about, and we haven't really released our information or our take on these people. We have Marquisha Lawson. She is a childhood friend of Nipsey Hussle. She's a native of Los Angeles, and she was on the scene after the death of Nipsey Hussle. Now, if you guys remember back to when Nipsey's mom gave the acceptance speech on BET on the BET Awards, she referred to a woman with heavy breast. And she said that the woman was going to tilt over.
Right.
This is just my opinion, and that the woman was very distraught. It could be Miss Lawson, but I'm not sure. Miss Lawson was also at the funeral for Nipsey Hussle, and after all of this, a couple of people put her under fire on the internet, and she received some death threats. And I really do feel bad for this woman. It seems like she's a very genuine woman. Personally, I have spoken with her lightly and given her my condolences and whatnot. So, Miss Lawson, childhood friend. So,
So so hold on. So you think that the mother confused Miss what's her name, Miss Lawson, with, because I thought the mother said that was a police officer.
I don't think she said it was a police officer that was crying.
Okay.
She said that the person was so upset that it looked like they were just running through the place.
Oh, okay.
No, that won't. Now, the officer you're talking about is the person that we spontaneously are going to add to this list, and that is Officer Resurrection. Officer Resurrection actually spoke with Angelique Smith on the scene, and he gave her a flip-flop type of answer when she asked where her son was being sent to, what hospital.
Right.
And he gave her a kind of a little bit of pushback from what I can feel, because she was able to speak on it at the BET Acceptance Award speech. So I felt as though she named that person for a reason as well. And we've already talked about this briefly, but you guys should go back and watch that video as well. But I wanted to add him as a player. So then we got the people in the windows. After the shooting, there was a man in the window, and there were two women that caught me and Cisco's eyes. One had on a jacket and a black shirt with some writing on it. And the other girl, she has a white shirt on, and also a particular logo that, shout out to Little Kev's Truth Movement. He has discovered a logo on that shirt that this woman has on. So we will put that in there as well. Then we have
Yeah.
the girls. We got the girls from the Oklahoma, OKC. These women were at the scene at the time of the death of Nipsey Hussle. And according to their caption, they stated that they pulled off and could have gotten hit. So they were very close to the whole action that took place. How do you feel about
Right.
them, Cisco?
For me, I put them in that classification, like Kid Flashy, to be revealed. These are people that obviously flew in to the marathon store and just, according to what they're saying, they just happened to be there when this happened. So until more information is discovered about them, I kind of put them in like a separate category.
Okay. And we're going to shout that out too. No Filter News and Talk for that information being talked about. At least it's being talked about. At least people are provoking thoughts. And I commend that. So then we got Nipsey's bodyguard. He was not scheduled to be there with Nipsey the day of the murder. He did an interview, he explained it. He was not scheduled to be there. As far as the higher video shoot, it was stated that more security was added on. So I wonder what took place at that video shoot. I wonder, was it a phone call? I'm really, really curious. And if anybody has heard anything about that, please comment down below, because that's the
And
initial threat.
yeah, and also something, over the years of looking at history, this is something that happens in assassinations, is the failure or the minimizing or the vulnerability of the target in the last moments of their life. And we've seen that before with, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, for those people who know the intrinsic details of their assassinations. And that's why, to me, um, the way this whole played out, I still call it assassination. It's not a typical hood killing, you know.
No,
It's
this
not a
ain't
typical.
from the hood. I
Nah.
mean, people, want to, include themselves because they're from the hood, but you
The
really got to break this down. You got to break this down. You got to use brain power too. You got to be willing to listen to people and hear them out.
Yeah, it just so happened that everything just lined up perfectly.
It's true. So then we have dun 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 Rock Nation.
Right.
Now, Rock Nation has benefited tremendously after the death of Nipsey Hussle. First, with the mural that was painted by Tina Lawson, Beyonce's mom.
Um, Tiffany Anderson.
Tiffany Anderson. Okay, I'm sorry. And that sold for $101,000 alone. Then the products on Nipsey Hussle's website. You can talk to them a little bit more in depth about those products, because you've been eyeing that.
Well, it's like when you go to the Nipsey's page, the first product you see is uh, Rock Nation products, and they're significantly cheaper than Nipsey Hussle's items. But I just find it ironic that the first thing you find is there, and it may have been there before his death, you know. But obviously, even if it was there before his death, you would think that you would not have a not have that. You know, let's promote this marathon. This marathon, this victory lap stuff. But anyway, also, not only the website, the music. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you look at the stats, and you guys do your own research, but if you look at the stats, in one stat, Nipsey went from 900,000 streams to 9.7 million on the day he died.
Mm.
You know, is just an enormous amount. If you look at the numbers, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. So you have to add Rock Nation. I'm not, and for me, adding them to the list of players, I'm not pointing guilt. I'm just saying, they benefit from Nipsey's death,
Correct. I mean,
and
that's a
tremendously.
tremendously. It's not even just
Yeah,
a
just
couple of
go.
cents we're talking about. They're making
Nah,
money.
go look at the numbers. It's stupid numbers. Put it like this: 10 out of the 50 top songs on Apple Music belong to Nipsey Hussle.
Correct.
10 of the top 50 songs.
Crazy. So here goes part three, you guys. I've gotten some more stuff together, and we're going to look at some more stuff. If you guys find anything that we've missed, please call it out. Also, please check out all of the previous videos we've done and make sure we haven't already called that person out as a player. That does not mean they're guilty. That does not mean they're a suspect. And thank you guys so much for tuning back in. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you guys so much.